afternoon. Today's been an interesting day. I started my morning out this morning. Somebody, it was the Texas Scorecard publisher issuing a survey, a poll today. Who do you favor to win the Republican primary Senate seat? And your three choices are Senator Cornyn, Wesley Hunt, and Attorney General Ken Paxton. You don't see old Virgil, the Jobs guy, mentioned anywhere, so I sent him a tweet. He never answered, which I didn't expect he would. I thought he had more class, though. So I sent him a tweet saying, hey, are you creating election interference? I mean, after all, you're not letting your viewers know who is actually running. You're basically picking the top three dogs. That's bullshit, but it's what it is. Exactly what it is. Now, what had just happened a few minutes ago, apparently 3 hours ago, Senator Cornyn had a tweet back on October 15th, 2021. So Ken Paxton had to dig deep. Now, I guarantee you he didn't do the digging, so he's paying somebody to do it. But anyway, Cornyn says many of our Afghan allies whose bravery kept America and our troops safe are being welcomed to Texas by dedicated advocates. So Paxton fires back here, 3 hours ago. Cornyn met with the NGOs to facilitating unvetted Afghans pouring into our country because he wanted to help them get the chance at the American dream. It's extremely frustrating and disappointing that he's more focused on evading foreign invaders than he is protecting actual Texans. So I tweeted a few minutes ago, nobody ever mentioned it, but I had hey, the legal non-immigrant guest workers imported on visas like H-1B and H-2A and H-2B are doing more destruction to American workers and Texas workers than any of those Afghanistans did. I guarantee you he won't answer that. And I tweeted with my little plan for ending the H-1B in Texas state government overnight. You won't see nobody discussing that, not Paxton or Cornyn or Hunt or that publisher of Texas Scorecard, whatever his name was. You won't hear them say that. And then here's what gets me. And I'm going to see if I can bring this over here and play it for you, because you need to understand what's going on. This kid is apparently Nikki Haley's kid. And don't get involved in the politics. I don't want to hear it, and you don't. Nobody else wants to hear it. Let's show what's actually happening.
So, Nayland, what do you think about that?
Well, the goal, at the end of the day, the goal of every generation is to leave it better than you found it, right? And not only are we not doing that, we're going in the opposite direction. It's getting worse. I think the first step our leaders need to do is admit that we have a problem. And right now, I haven't heard any Republican leaders talk about the issues that young people are facing. Congress has been nothing more than a glorified nursing home. They either don't know the problems that we're facing or they're ignoring it. And to be honest, I don't know which one's worse. You look at jobs, 1/3 of recent college graduates are unemployed. My friend group graduated, all with great degrees in great schools, and not one of them has a job, not one. So it's frustrating because they did everything that they were supposed to do. They put in the time, the effort, the money to get educated, and they don't have a job to show for it. They have to compete with foreign workers who are willing to work for half their salary and AI, which is a supercomputer, so how can we compete with that? You look at the housing market, and the average first-time home buyer in America is 40 years old now. 5 years ago, it was 33. My parents bought their first house for $90,000 in the late 90s, and now it's probably worth over $400,000. So we're facing a lot of issues, and, I think some things that we need to do is we need to ban H-1B visas, make sure corporations are hiring a certain number of Americans and make sure they act in the interest of the American people, not just for themselves. I think that we need to stop subsidizing illegal immigrants for housing and instead maybe look into subsidizing Americans for first-time homebuyers for housing, and not allow corporations and the Chinese Communist Party to buy entire neighborhoods of single-family homes.
So, Nayland, you hit a lot of points there. And I think one of the things that has not been addressed by a lot of Republicans is they feel like a lot of young people just want free stuff. But you're speaking directly against it. You're saying these young people, they actually work very hard. They've gotten a degree, but they feel like the American dream isn't attainable to them. What would you say about that?
Right. No, that's absolutely correct. It feels like it's getting less and less attainable with each passing day. And look, I don't like socialism, but we also need to acknowledge that you can be against free market neoliberalism and not be subscribed to Mamdani style socialism. Capitalism is a very broad thing. We need it to work for the average everyday American, not just for the elites and corporations. And when you look at Gen Z, over half of Gen Z has positive views of socialism. And it's because socialists, the democratic socialists, are actually reaching out to young people. So if the Republicans do that, which they need to do, it may stop a lot of kids my age from becoming socialists and from going to the Democrats.
It's a powerful conversation, one that I think needs to be had. I wish we had more time, Nayland. Hopefully you'll come back on the show.
Did you listen to that? That kid gets it. I get it. I've lived this nightmare. It's just as bad for me and people my age as it is for the middle age, and it's especially bad for these kids. The sorry SOBs that are doing this to our kids and our citizens should be killed, if that's still a word. That's how bad they are. But what's worse is these politicians like Paxton and Cornyn and Hunt that don't even discuss what's happening about jobs. And you want to vote for them? What kind of stupid are you? Isn't it time you stood up for your family for a change? For crying out loud, get off your butt, get informed, and understand that our kids and our citizens can't find jobs, and this is the year of jobs.